All right, let's unpack a feeling that I'm pretty sure we've all had lately. It's more than just simple sticker shock, right? We're going to dig into why everything just feels more expensive than it should.
I mean, think about it for a second. You're at the grocery store, maybe you're scrolling online, and you see the price for something, something totally normal that you buy all the time, and something just doesn't feel right. A little alarm bell just goes off in your head. It's not even that it just costs more. It feels, well, wrong. Like that number just makes absolutely no sense for what you're actually getting.
And that is the key. That's it right there. This whole feeling, it isn't just about, oh, things are expensive. No, it's about this deep mismatch, a disconnect between what we're paying and what we feel something is actually worth. So let's break down why. We are going to get to the bottom of that feeling. We're going to look at the hidden economics and maybe more importantly, the psychology behind why our perception of value just seems so out of sync with the prices we're seeing today.
Okay, so first things first, we have to separate two things that we almost always mash together: the actual number on the price tag and our very personal, very emotional reaction to that number.
See, a price tag, it's just data. It's a number, an objective fact. But how we feel about that number? Oh, that's a whole different story. That's driven by emotion, by our memories, and maybe most importantly, by what we expect something to cost, based on years and years of buying it. And this really gets to the heart of the problem. Prices have shot up, right? Sometimes pretty dramatically. But our internal gauge, our sense of what's fair or normal, well, that just hasn't caught up yet. And that gap, that's exactly where this feeling of being mismatched comes from. But here's the thing. It's not just about straightforward inflation. Not at all. Companies have gotten really, really clever about raising prices in ways that, well, that fly right under the radar. Let's talk about the first one. It's a classic, and I guarantee you've noticed this. Shrinkflation. This is the definition of a sneaky price hike. It's totally in disguise because the price on the shelf, it looks exactly the same, but the amount of what you're actually getting, poof, it's just quietly vanished. And the reason it works so well is because it's so simple. The price hasn't changed. The package looks pretty much the same, but you open that bag of chips and it's suddenly half air. Or you notice that ice cream carton has a new divot in the bottom. You are quite literally paying the same for less. All right, next up we have the subscription effect, and this is a whole different beast. It's a much more modern shift in how we own things, or maybe more accurately, how we don't own anything anymore. When you see a price like this, $12.99 a month, it doesn't set off any alarms, does it? It feels small, it feels manageable. We tell ourselves, it's nothing, it's just a couple of coffees. And you know what? It is absolutely designed to feel that way. The problem is, it's never just one, is it? You've got one for your streaming TV, another for music. Then there's the software you used to just buy once, food delivery apps, news services, your gym. They just keep piling up. Individually, they're tiny, but together, they're like a pack. And before you know it, this is the result. All those small, insignificant monthly fees quietly add up to a huge chunk of change over the course of a year. It's this massive expense that never feels massive in the moment, and it's a huge reason why it feels like your money just evaporates. So, with all these costs creeping up on us, both the obvious ones and the hidden ones, how do we even deal with it? Well, it turns out our brains have this fascinating and honestly kind of troubling way of coping. It's something called the normalization process, and it's basically this. Our minds take something that was once totally shocking, and just by seeing it over and over again, we slowly start to accept it as the new normal. I mean, think about the price of gas or a carton of eggs. The very first time you saw that new, crazy high price, you were probably shocked, right? Outraged even. That's stage one. But then you see it again and again. The shock starts to wear off. That's adaptation. And finally, you get to acceptance. It just is the price now, and you stop even questioning it. And all of this creates what we can call the perception gap. In our heads, we remember and expect an older idea of value. A full carton of ice cream, buying software just once. But the reality we live in now, it's a smaller carton for the same price, a monthly fee forever. This constant disconnect between what we expect and what we get is frankly exhausting. And it's what fuels that gut feeling that something's just not right. Okay, so let's bring this all home. Let's talk about why this whole thing feels so personal.
Because it's not just some abstract economic trend, is it? It can feel like a direct hit on our effort, on our work.
Because money isn't just the number. It's not. It's your time, it's your effort, it's the work you put in. So when you pay for something and that price feels totally wrong, it's not just annoying, it feels like your time and your effort are being devalued.
And that really is the biggest takeaway from all of this. Because prices don't just rise. They change how you feel about value itself. What's really happening here is a huge shift in our relationship with the things we buy, with our own money, and ultimately with our sense of what our hard work is even worth anymore. So it leaves us with this one big question to chew on. The numbers changed, we know that. But did your fundamental sense of value, did that change too?